It's a great Saturday morning out here at McGrath State Beach. Welcome to our program. We're here just at the edge of Ventura, Oxnard on the Santa Clara River, and one of the most important park units we have in our state, one that's been closed for a long time because of rising water. We now have a huge effort to restore this park, and we're beginning to make this park persist for decades to come. McGrath State Beach is at a real interesting place, both ecologically, geologically, and politically. It's really at the edge of many different things. It's at the edge of political jurisdictions, it's the edge of the land and the sea. It's also at the edge of rising seas and a lot of the current challenges that many of our regions of our state are going to be facing as we go on into the future. What's been going on here, the historic mouth of the Santa Clara River estuary, closes and is always closed at certain times of the year. A sandbar goes over the front. That leads to a more enclosed area, a more lagoonal, a raised water situation. Historically, that's been okay, and then once the water gets to a certain level, that berm breaches, the water goes down. That's a natural part of the system. One of the challenges that's happened in the recent several years has been a changed water pattern. That has partly to do with what we've been doing. It also has to do with our lower rainfall and the drought situation that we're facing right now. What it's meant in summary has been a stronger berm, less water in the lagoon there to break through this berm, and it's meant higher water levels for a much longer time. As far as people using this facility, it's meant that you can't even get in here because where I'm standing, I'd be about waist deep in water. So in addition to all the ecological impacts of that changed system, it's also meant that people can't recreate here. So we're beginning to try to solve that problem. Steps were first taken in 2011, been getting stronger and stronger ever since. Now we've finally been able to lower the water here. We've finally, for the first time in almost 3 years, are going to be able to have hopefully summer camping here and summer recreational use. And that's also the first step towards restoring this entire system. So as we talk to different folks today, we're going to hear about some of the efforts that people have put into, first and foremost, preventing this unit from closing. Secondly, how we're building more community effort and interest around this park. Thirdly, what are we going to do to try to go forward with this? Both forward as a recreational place for the local folks, also how we can possibly use this park, this place, this location as a model for other coastal systems where people are struggling with sea level rise and other challenges. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for listening to what we're talking about today. Hold on. We're going to be right back with a bunch of awesome interviews from a bunch of fantastic folks here at McGrath State Beach. Right here, you can see one of the many examples of the inundation we've had. So if we look at the soil is basically a marsh plain, a coastal wetland plain. There's no, we just have driven a tractor through it, so we have some treads that just tore up this area, but otherwise, there's no plants growing here. Right? This should be a vegetated area, but it was subtidal, so we've lost this area to have a nice covered grassy zone. What that means is if we don't do something, this is going to become dirt, it's going to become weeds and thistles, and it's going to be hard for folks to recreate here. So this is a great example of some of the recreational opportunities we've lost because this place has been underwater. Not just as it's underwater, but it's also impacted a lot of the future potential of the site. We need a lot of repair in this unit. This really shows how much this site wants to be a wetland. We potentially could have a lot of wonderful plants and animals going through here that are wetland estuarine critters. The superintendent was just telling us how much they're trying to push us into this restoration zone, how much we're trying to get this place where I'm standing restored to healthy salt marsh so that our camping can be moved to another place, get both these elements living together in harmony. Lots of challenges have presented themselves here at this park. One of the most crucial was several years ago in 2011, we had some threats to even shut down this park, cease it from being part of one of the units in the state park. And Supervisor Zaragoza and several others were instrumental in helping turn that tide when it was starting to happen.
This is a real environmental treasure that belongs to all of us, and something that I believe that the Friends of the Channel Islands, state parks, the county, the city, and all of us value, because it's a real environmental asset. And as I mentioned before earlier, not only that, it's an economic asset to the community too.
Right. How about any fishing excitement or any other kind of fun sports going on here of late?
Well, that's extremely important, because not only is it a good camping ground, but my understanding is the fishing is great, and also the surfing is great.
Aha!
So if people
My students would agree with you.
They come out here and they surf and they use the beach and they come back and forth.
Right.
But yes, the fishing is great, the surfing is great, and come and enjoy it.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. Perfect.
Thank you so much.
Our great county supervisor, John Zaragoza from the 5th District of Ventura County. Another key player in this huge team right here at McGrath State Beach.
Thank you so much.
A lot of folks have been engaged in helping us recover this park, and one of them is our representative, Das Williams.
Well, it's great to be here. It's great to see the park open. It was threatened with closure back in 2011, but a local effort with help from some of us state officials saved the park. The city of Oxnard, the county of Ventura, some locals, people rallied, and then myself representing the state, we all worked together to save the park. It's great to see it open.
Yeah.
It's great to see it no longer flooded, and it's really inspirational to see so many people out here today working to make sure that the park stays beautiful. It is one of those places where if a certain amount of sea level rise happens, we can deal with it, right? And we're going to try to deal with it by moving a little bit of the park up on higher ground. As California is the 8th largest economy in the world, we can tremendously affect, for better or for worse, how much of sea level rise there is.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. Thanks for all the time and everything.
Thanks so much.
It's fantastic that we have folks all the way up to the Sacramento legislature like Das Williams engaged with this problem, helping to solve, helping to move forward and return this park to the place it could be and should be. More than 60% of the folks consistently, year to year, sometimes it's a lot higher, respond that the last open space they've been to is the beach. So the beach is really, really not only iconic for those of us living here in Southern California, but also central to just about everything we do. And it's a key reason why we need to have healthy, easily accessible coastal resources and places on the beach. When you come to the beach, the times when we most love to come to the beach are in the spring and summertime. That's also the perfect time for nesting of 2 endangered species that we have here. So our snowy plovers and our least terns are rare in lots of the world. They're really, really abundant right here in Ventura County in places like McGrath Beach. So when you come to the beach, if you happen to see a little fence, a little marked off area, do me a favor and just steer clear of that. Those are places we've zoned off to make sure that folks don't accidentally step on a nest of these endangered birds. The birds are obviously birds, but the eggs are blended to perfectly look like grains of sand. So unless you're paying attention, it's really easy to accidentally step on them. So when you see fences, give them a nice little wide berth, go sunbathe, go play volleyball, etc. Just watch out for the fences. If you do happen to bring your wonderful pooch to the beach, make sure Fido is on a leash and contained. That's another issue we have here. So as long as he's contained, we're all good coming on down the beach. So behind me, you can see some of the very few campsites that are now open this weekend. We need many more of these places to be open. These guys are on some of the highest ground that we have here currently open in the campground. The idea, again, with the restoration is to have more opportunities like this that are at least at this level or slightly higher, so that, again, we can be out of the floodplain, out of the inundation area, and more people can be like these folks, these lucky guys right here, out of the beach. Why aren't you out here camping at McGrath State Beach? Thanks for hanging out with us today. We've had a fantastic day here at McGrath State Beach. Watched a lot of folks do some fantastic restoration. Heard from a lot of the key players here that are making this park a more vibrant, essential part of our local community for the years going forward. Stay in touch. Stay in touch with the Park Service, stay in touch with our friends groups, with all of our community that are involved here. There's ample opportunities for you guys to get involved. You can also go check out our website at California State University Channel Islands. You can search ESRM, Environmental Science and Resource Management Program. We have all kinds of projects going on here as well to try to help support state parks, support our local resource managers, and give them the information that they need. For anybody interested in this type of stuff, anybody interested in restoring systems, anybody interested in figuring out how we go forward collectively, constructively with problems, come check out our website at California State University Channel Islands. In particular, check out our Environmental Science and Resource Management program. We train students to solve these problems. My students are now rangers. My students are now part of the organizing groups that bring these folks together. It's a wonderful opportunity. Come to CSUCI. Come check us out. We have an awesome program. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time.